Hello everyone, welcome to the latest episode of Souls Unboxing. If you'd like to know what exciting gadgets we'll be unboxing next, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell button. During the past holiday season, we've received some very interesting gadgets and appliances, including the Amber Temperature Control Mark II that we unboxed a few weeks ago. If you missed any of our previous unboxing, you could always check out the videos on our channel page. And besides the app-enabled coffee mug that we are enjoying so frequently, this is another one we received that we would love to unbox with all of you. This is what we'll be unboxing this week. Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo from none other than the Mario's creator, Nintendo themselves. Let's just call it Alarmo from now on. When Nintendo first announced the Alarmo back on October 9th, 2024, it truly took the whole world by storm. Nowadays, most, if not all, of us use our own smartphones and our wake-up alarms every day. It's not like traditional analog or digital alarms have completely faded out. At least, my parents still use the old-fashioned ones to get them out of bed. But when Nintendo was promoting this Alarmo selling for $100 US or 130 Canadian dollars plus any applicable taxes, we were like, why the heck are we getting an Alarmo clock that costs so much to torture ourselves and our wallet just to wake us up? For sure, we will mostly consider that as a gimmicky thing, but if we want to wake up in a less boring way or with a twist, either figuratively or literally, this little gadget may just add some spice to our busy life. Let's check out the design of the box. Like most of the Nintendo's hardware and peripherals, they use a red theme for the box design, similar to how Sony uses blue for the PlayStation or Microsoft uses green for the Xbox. On the front, we can already see the clock that looks like Mario's signature bricks, coins, and the melodies. On one side, we can see that they have 35 unique alarms we can choose from, and an initial lineup of 5 popular titles from Nintendo to start with, including Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 3, Pikmin 4, and Ring Fit Adventure. So, 7 alarms for each title. It also says here that we can download more alarms by connecting our Nintendo account. So, if you're a Switch user, you are probably using one already. We'll get back to the title thing after. There are some more features at the bottom, but it's kind of small to see, so let me just read those out for you. On the left, it says the clock screen changes to fit the chosen alarm. Makes sense, as different titles should have different themes and displays. And on the right, it says the alarm grows louder if you don't get up. Now that's brutal. But hey, that's why it's called an alarm, right? Let's check out the other side of the box. Seems like there are at least 2 methods to silence the alarm, either by moving your body to quiet it, or by getting out of bed to stop it yourself. Much like in old days when we purposely placed the alarm by the other end of the bed, so we're forced to get up to stop the alarm from blaring. Now, if you have multiple sleepers, or if you prefer to sleep with your pets, you can also just use the button mode for it to function like a standard alarm clock. Now that's more. On the back, it has the placement requirements, meaning you can't just play the alarm anywhere you want or the motion sensor won't function properly. The bed needs to be twin or king size. The alarm has to face the center of the bed. It should be within arm's reach, and is placed no higher than 8 inches above the bed. So don't place on your overhead shelf. Now this red bar gives very important information. Alarmo requires at least a 7.5 volt adapter with USB-A port or the Nintendo Switch AC adapter. Again, if you own a Switch console, you have one on hand already. Alright, with all the suspense and information, we shall unbox the contents for a further look. Just give me one moment. Okay, so we have everything unboxed in here, including this cute little alarmo, a USB cable with USB-C on one side and USB-A on the other, and the usage menu. With a quick look first before we plug that in for other details. The alarmo has a long red case and a black clock face for now, and it has two legs at the back to make sure it can stand properly without tilting. And we can see at the top that it has this white translucent part that mimics the traditional ring of an alarm clock. But this serves more than just a mere decoration. It's also the confirm button and a dial for menu, and it has built-in LED that will change color depending on different alarm status. There are two more buttons on the top, one being the back button and the other for notifications. The clock face is about 2.8 inches in diameter with built-in motion sensor and brightness sensor, so it won't be blinding bright when you have turned off your light. On the back, we have the speaker hidden inside the red housing, and in here, the input for the USB-C plug. Now here are the steps to do for the first time. As previously mentioned, we'll need an AC adapter with USB-A input, so you can have something like this to save your hassles. Or nowadays, many of the power bars have built-in USB ports too, so they'll work just as well. We'll connect the USB-C cable. Let me just get rid of the twist tie. So USB-C side to the bottom of alarmo, and then the other end to the adapter or power bar. So let me just plug that in first. I have a power bar, by the way. Here we go. So let this little beauty power up. Now we have to follow the on-screen prompts and use the dial and confirm button on the top. So you see. So pressing, twisting, and pressing. Okay, so we have to set the language first. English, please. You see the little LED that will light up, and it has sound too. So yes, you can use the back button if you want to go back to the previous screen. No, I don't need to. So next. Okay, so which region? The Americas. Since we are in North America. Time zone. Oh, cool. They have Vancouver, which is -8 PST or GMT -8. And then we set the date. February 1st. No, it's 2025 already. And the time. Okay. 3. Now you all know when I filmed this video. Okay, good. Okay, that should be the Mario theme. Yes. Oh, so you can set the volume. Okay, I'll just turn it down a little bit. Turn it down to raise or lower the volume. Okay. Try waving hand towards the screen. So this is for the motion sensor. Good. Okay, so place the clock on a flat surface. Okay, let me just try out. Because we need to calibrate the motion sensor. Okay, I'm not sure it will work on my work desk, but we'll just give it a try. Give you a moment. You're almost there, buddy. You got one already. It's very tricky. I'll be right back. Okay, so a quick test showing that you really need to be from a distance to set it properly. So the clock's motion sensor can tell when you move your body. Thank you. Okay, its range of detection is called the sensor zone. We've done it. Now let's set the clock's sensor zone. Okay. What size is your bed? Okay. Full size. Okay. Don't forget you have to set it like not higher than 8 inches from your bed. The clock will be placed, let's say like this, at an angle. How far? Okay, let's see. Oh, can we set less? Okay, 4 inches. Okay, so it says the screen should face the middle of your bed. Okay, sensor zone is set. If you want to change the clock's placement, select sensor zone in settings. Cool. Okay. So we have to test the alarm. Okay, so lie down, press the confirm button to test the alarm. Begin test. Okay, we can see, oh. So we can see there's a visitor in here. So we have to keep moving to silence it. So we have to get off bed to stop the alarm. And you can see the LED has changed to red and it prompts you to get out of bed. So characters will come and wake you up each morning. Cool. Okay, move your body to quiet the alarm. So it has all the different ways to either silence it or snooze it. So if you want to stop it completely, you have to get out of bed, okay? And if you go back into bed within an hour of the alarm, it will start going off again. An hour, we should get going then. Okay. Okay, no, we don't need to test again. Okay, now it's time to set the alarm. Press the confirm button down on the dial and open the menu. Okay, then set alarm. So we can pick a scene and a mode and set the alarm. And then there are several titles like we said, and multiple scenes. Okay, and then we have to choose a scene. Okay, let's see. Let's just go with Mario Odyssey. Okay, Yoshi. And then we can select the preferred alarm mode. So first time users may want to start with the steady mode, which the alarm will actually get more intensified, and then it encourages you to wake up within 20 minutes of your alarm. So if you don't, the alarm will enter a louder hurry up state. Okay, just like when you are reaching the time limit for Mario stages. Okay, so we can either choose the steady mode. So we can see. And then gentle mode, wake up to gentle sound. So more like a standard alarm then. Okay. And don't forget about the button mode, which is the regular one. So if you have like more than one sleeper in your bed, then you may just choose button mode because not everyone is waking up at the same time. Okay. We just choose button mode. Okay. And then we'll set a time. Okay. So this is how it works, right? So it's pretty cool. And then we can also link our Nintendo account with Alarm Mode with the built-in Wi-Fi. And there is a day one firmware patch, just like video games and hardware these days. Honestly, when's the last time we have to download and apply a patch to our alarm clocks anyways? Well, it's still running software in the background and bugs and glitches may happen, so at least Nintendo is willing to patch those up from time to time. And if we need to download additional titles in the future, we still need to link our Nintendo account anyways. So future updates include Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that we got once we have updated the firmware, and Animal Crossing, and possibly many others from Nintendo. We just can't wait to see which will come next to help wake us up. Or maybe we just want to stay in bed for longer to check out all the interactions. So let me just try to log in first and we'll come back in a bit. Okay, so once you have set up your Wi-Fi connection and also linked to your Nintendo account, which they will just use a QR code and you can just log in on your phone, and it will update it with the firmware, and also you can download the alarms at the same time like how I did it. And now it's version 2 already. Okay, let's see. Update details. No, I don't care. Okay, new alarms have been added. Let's check out the new alarms. So we have the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And this is the latest one. Not bad. So that's it for this episode of Sauce Unboxing. If you enjoyed this unboxing and review video, please give us a thumbs up, leave your comments below, and share with others who love this kind of gadgets. Alarm Mode was initially available only to paid Nintendo Switch Online members in the United States and Canada via the My Nintendo store, but Nintendo has already announced it will be available to other retailers this coming March, which means we no longer need a Nintendo membership subscription to buy it. And you may think for an alarm clock that costs over $100 will deter people away. It was actually in extremely high demand, especially in Japan, because of the popularity of different Nintendo's franchises and the quirkiness of the alarm. If you find your regular alarms too boring and you like Mario and the gang, you may want to try this. The only downside we could think of now is it has to be AC powered with a cable, which means there's always a string attached. Oh, and we need to place it within reach, so we can't just place it on the floor either. Anyways, have a good night's sleep everyone, and hope we all rise and shine with this little gadget.